Alright guys, today I am here to talk about your snake addiction. And if you're watching this video, there's a 99% chance that you might be addicted to snakes, and it's the extreme opposite of people being fearful of snakes. And there's a lot of reasons you can be addicted once you get into it, especially if you get into ball pythons. This is a ball python that I have around my neck. This is a female spider ball python. And the first time you've actually held a ball python, it is really, let me tell you, it's really unexpected. If you really haven't held a ball python before, you pick one up and you hold it and you realize they are amazing animals, and they come in so many colors and patterns, and different morphs, what we call morphs, which are color and pattern mutations of the ball pythons. There's like 300 different base morphs, and it's kind of like being, I would say, kind of like being an artist, because you have 300 base colors, I would say, and you could paint any kind, you could put any kind of a paint job on these guys and mix all the colors and patterns, and the combinations are almost unlimited. I think I figured it out once, and it was like there's like hundreds of millions of different combinations that you can have if you start with 300 base morphs and mix them all together. And let me tell you, there's only a fraction of those that really have been seen. It seems like every time I go to the reptile shows or look on Morph Market, there's always new stuff popping up that has never been done before. As a matter of fact, when I go to the reptile shows and I'm selling snakes at my table, people are just crowding around. I mean, there's like row after row after row, and people in the back can hardly see my table. There's so many people that are just addicted to snakes. They want to see the new stuff. They want to see what you have, what the prices are, maybe what they can buy into as far as projects, and it just goes on and on, deeper and deeper. It's really a unique subculture of people that are really addicted to ball pythons. And I was addicted for quite a while, and you're addicted if you start thinking about all your thought goes into breeding or keeping ball pythons. You're always thinking about, what can I breed together? What projects can I invest into? What do I really want to get into? And your mind's always turning about, what's kind of coming up at the forefront, what can I invest in, and what do I really want to add to my collection? And the other thing is, you're addicted if you spend a lot of your time on websites like ballpython.net. If you haven't been there, it's a really cool website, and check out the snake. Ballpython.net is a forum people go to talk about mainly snakes and ball pythons. There's a lot of different categories, and let me tell you, that's kind of where I started. I bought a couple snakes and ball pythons included, and let me tell you, I posted thousands and thousands of comments, started new threads, and that's really where I learned a lot of my info, is ballpythons.net. And then from there I kind of branched out to Morph Market. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen morphmarket.com, there are tens of thousands of ball pythons for sale, and all the new stuff coming out, and anything from the $25,000 snake all the way down to the $20 snake, and everything in between. And you can just spend hours and days and weeks on ball python on Morph Market. It's a pretty incredible website. And let me tell you, you can get, if Morph Market and ballpythons.net, those two websites, they feed your addiction. You can spend pretty much your whole days and nights just on those two websites alone, and it's pretty fascinating. And I kind of want to show you not only the spider, I kind of want to show you some of my other ball pythons that I have, and then at the end of this video I want to feed two of my big reticulated pythons, Sonny and Lucy. Sonny is the male. He fasted for about 7 months, and I've been pairing him up and breeding him, and he finally took a rat, so I'm going to try it again, see if he'll take another rat. And then Lucy, she's probably, I'd say she's probably close to 70 pounds now. She may even be more, she may be like 75 or 80 pounds. She is a really big, beautiful snake, and it looks like, to me, I just kind of peeked in her enclosure, and it looks like she's building eggs. She's getting really plump, so I'm not sure if she'll take another rat or not. She's kind of on the edge, and it's kind of surprising that she looks so big and plump after, not really eating. She only ate one rat probably in the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to try to feed those guys, but let me show you a couple of my ball pythons first. Okay, so this snake that I have around my neck, this is a bamboo ball python. This happens to be a male, and look at how big this guy is. He is really big, and I would say this is probably as close to the spider gene as you can get. I would say, you know, the spider has the head wobble. If you want something close to the spider, this would be as close as you can get with no genetic anomalies, I guess you would say. You know, these are incredible animals. This one is a really big male, and I'm breeding them to 3 females this year. As a matter of fact, there was pretty much there wasn't very many bamboos in Colorado. As a matter of fact, when I started producing these and selling them at the shows, a lot of people were like, what in the world is that snake? I've never seen a bamboo ball python, and now it's been, you know, the first season, pretty much I sold, you know, probably I'd say maybe 40 or 50 bamboos and bamboo combos, and now everybody is really getting into the bamboos. A really popular gene. I would say definitely one of the ones to think about if you're addicted to snakes and you're thinking about getting into ball pythons. Bamboo is a great place to invest. All right, so this is a beauty of a snake. This happens to be a pied male, and it has the fire gene in it. So it is a fire pied. The pied has the white splotches. The fire really lightens and enhances the dark splotches on it. And let me tell you, the fire pied is a really amazing snake. Not many of them are out there. As a matter of fact, I think this is probably one of the very few in existence as far as just a straight fire pied. You'd be hard pressed to really find one at the local reptile shows, but pieds are in really high demand. Any pied combos, the straight pieds with anything else. And if you're looking for something to invest in, to feed your addiction, pieds are the way to go. Check out this snake. It's one of my holdbacks from last year. It is almost big enough to put around my neck. This happens to be a bamboo lesser in the blue-eyed leucistic complex, and these are all white snakes. This one happens to have a little bit of yellow right on the top with bright blue eyes, if you can see the eyes. And let me tell you, I would say this is the #1 most popular snake as far as people holding it at the reptile shows. Everyone would come up to my table and all the kids would be like, hey, can I check out the white snake? You know, a lot of kids, they don't want to buy anything. They just want to hold it. And this, I'd say this snake was held maybe 50 times this year by all the people at the shows. I mean, these are probably the #1 most popular snakes. And if you're thinking about getting into a breeding project, blue-eyed leucistic is another one that can feed your addiction. All right, so take a look at this snake. This is a lemon blast bamboo, which is the pastel, the pinstripe, and the bamboo. And if you were to see this in person, let me tell you, it doesn't even look real. It looks like it's made out of metal or something. It's pretty wild. And this is the first time I produced them last year, and really it doesn't even look like, if you see it in person, it doesn't even look real. As a matter of fact, I had these on my table, and the first people that walk by my table, they're like, check that out, that looks like a metal snake. It's really wild, and it's almost impossible to capture the real color and the appearance of the snake on camera. It's really amazing. And this is a female. I think I might hold it back. This is another one that's a really awesome snake. Here's a cutting edge project. This is a pastel scaleless head. It has a few scales missing from the head. If you can kind of capture that on film, the head of the snake has just a few scales missing. And what happens is you breed 2 of them together and you get a totally scaleless ball python where there's no scales at all on the entire snake. And let me tell you, there's some really good prices on those snakes. If you're looking for a snake to invest in, the Scaleless Head Project is the way to go. I have a few of these, and I'm really looking forward to producing some totally scaleless ball pythons. Okay, so that was my ball pythons, and from here I'm going to move into my retics, my big snakes. I have one about 30 pounds and another one about 70 pounds. We're going to see if they'll take a couple rats. They may or may not. I think I was kind of looking at Sonny. He was kind of peeking out of the window a little bit on his tub, and maybe he'll take one, maybe not. I'm hoping he will, and I'm pretty sure Lucy will, even though she's looking really plump building eggs. She's kind of giving me the eye like she'd take a rat. So let's check out these retics. All right, so I want to start with Sonny. He is a male Purple albino reticulated python, he is 37.5% super dwarf, 50% dwarf, only 12.5% mainland. So we're gonna see if he'll take a rat. Let's see what kind of a mood he's in here. Looks like his head is way over here. There you go, buddy. Oh no, he's not going to take it. That's interesting. I don't think he's going to take it. Alright. Well, he took one rat, and that was his first rat in like 7 months. I'm surprised he's not going to take another one. Let's try it again. Maybe. I don't think he's going to take it. Alright. Huh. No. Interesting. I thought for sure he'd take one. Usually once they start feeding, they kind of jump on those rats pretty fast. I'll give you a little better view of him here. He is a really big snake. He is really beautiful. Let's see if I can give you a better angle on this tripod. And we'll see. I'm surprised he's not eating this. I don't know, maybe he's just afraid of the lights. Come on, buddy. I suppose I could leave it in there, try it that way. The only problem is when I drop it in there, I'm almost afraid to take it back. So, no, he's not going to take it. That is kind of weird. Pretty unexpected for Sonny. I thought for sure he'd take another one. So let's see if Lucy will take this rat. Alright, so what I actually decided to do on this one, I'm thinking maybe the lights kind of freaked him out because he's not used to the really bright lights. I had him cranked up pretty bright, so I'm actually going to leave this rat in there for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and see if he eats it kind of on his own. I'm going to prepare another rat for Lucy. And Lucy really needs bigger rats than this. This is a pretty small rat. I like to use the big jumbo males for Lucy. As a matter of fact, Sonny might actually take it on camera here. I don't know. He's kind of checking it out. I don't know if he'll actually take it. He may be a little more comfortable that the enclosure is actually closed up. Looks like he's tasting it with his tongue, which is, he's a pretty funny snake. He's thinking about it. It looks like he's gonna eat it. But you never know with these retics. Sometimes they go into a mad, wild feeding frenzy and they just start snapping at everything. And sometimes they just kind of ignore it and crawl on top of it. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes they'll fast for 6 or 7 months at a time, and sometimes they'll eat every single thing you throw in there. I could throw my boot in there and they'll almost try to eat it. It's pretty amazing sometimes. I think he's trying to figure out which is the head and which is the tail. And it's funny, I've actually seen snakes try to eat rodents' tail first, and it doesn't work. And they always have to eat it head first, otherwise it just doesn't go down. Yeah, it looks like he might not take that. If he doesn't take it, I'll pop that in the freezer. And normally what I do is I sell all my extra rats to the pet store. And I don't know, he's kind of still checking it out. Seems like he would take it. I don't know. He's gonna pull a Lucy and eat it really slow. I've never actually seen him do that. That's kind of interesting. So he's definitely gonna take that rat, which is pretty neat. Alright, so here is Lucy, and she is giving me the eye. She is definitely going to take a rat. She's following my hand around. Her face is right up to the glass. You know, when they do that, they are definitely keyed in on a rat. Sometimes she'll even strike the glass. She gets so fired up. And it looks like she's kind of getting more into one of the crazed feeding modes. So I got a really big rat for her. I'm thawing out a really big male black rat. I'm actually phasing out the black rats because they're just a little bit too wild. I'm kind of going with the hooded, the black and white rats instead of the black ones. And it'll be ready here in a minute. And we'll see if Lucy takes it. I can almost guarantee this snake is going to eat that rat. Here's an update on Sonny. Definitely enjoying that rat. Alright, so if you notice not only how keen she is on getting a rat, but if you notice she is really looking plump. I would say she's definitely going to lay this year. She's looking great. So I'm going to unlock this enclosure and throw a rat in there. She's right on top of it. I don't think she saw me threw it in there. That's the thing. I'm used to giving her white rats too. She's kind of a crazy snake. So she is definitely still thinking about it. These retics are pretty interesting. Sometimes, you know, the weird thing is if you put a rat in with a ball python like that and just lay it on the ground, there's a 99.9% chance that they won't eat it. It's very rare that you'll see a ball python actually eat a rat like these guys, really slow and gentle, and just take it without dangling it or kind of, you know, especially if you don't have, you know, like a live rat or something like that. With the movement, it seems like the movement of a live rat really gets a ball python. And with these guys, it doesn't really matter. You can throw it in there right on the ground and they'll take it. It's kind of the same way with king snakes too. A king snake will actually take like a frozen thawed rodent right from the ground or fresh killed, and ball pythons typically won't, which is pretty interesting. She's a little confused. She's a really cool snake. She's got a really interesting head pattern. Looks kind of interesting from the top. So I pretty much know Lucy, and she will definitely take that rat. It'll just takes her a few minutes to actually get it, but she'll definitely take it. There she goes. She's pulling it out because she can't quite get it right where it was. Okay, so there you have it. That is the discussion about your snake addiction. And let me tell you, they're kind of like potato chips. You just can't have one. You have to have more and more and more. Pretty soon, you know it, you have a whole room full of snakes. It's not really a bad thing because they're really low maintenance. You can have a lot of snakes. Doesn't take a whole lot of work. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.